divine realm, once bathed in eternal light, trembled beneath the shadow of a coming storm. From the highest tower of his celestial palace, Marduk kept his vigil, not as a sovereign crowned in glory, but as a god who beheld the approach of war.
Tiamat, you rise from the depths again. The balance teeters, and once more I must be the blade between order and chaos. But even gods grow weary of endless war.
He had heard the echoes, the conquest of the underworld by Tiamat, her dominion over the broken demon race. Yet this was no mere rebellion. It was the first tremor of annihilation. Tiamat, the ancient queen of chaos, waged her war not through brute force alone, but through cunning. Hers was not a war of fire and steel only, but of alliances forged in shadow, and of manipulation spun like webs across the realms.
The divine race will fall not by my hand alone. The dragons, the witches, the monsters, and the giants. I need only fan the flames. Their hate will do the rest.
She went first to the giants, a proud race once, now bowed beneath the yoke of divine oppression. Uthrog, their iron-fisted chieftain, remembered well the wars of old and the scars they had carved into his people.
Uthrog, they crushed your kin, banished you to these cold rocks. But I'll offer you a path to vengeance, a chance to bring the gods to their knees.
The giants remember. Nergal bathed in our blood, but it was Marduk who commanded it. We do not need your war, Tiamat. We have our own.
Then let our enemies be the same. Fight for your reasons, so long as you fight.
We will march, Serpent. But when the skies fall, the giants will rise, not as your allies, but as rulers of the ruins.
Thus was the pact sealed, not in trust, but in the venom of mutual hatred. It was a cold alliance, forged from the embers of ancient grudges and the ashes of long-forgotten wars. Marduk strode into the grand hall, where the lesser gods whispered in panic. With thunderous wrath, he struck his staff upon the floor, and the sound echoed like the breaking of worlds.
The war is no longer coming. It is here. Tiamat stirs the old powers against us. Giants, monsters, dragons, witches, they will answer her call. And if we do not stand united now, we will fall divided.
Thus the gods made ready, not for justice, nor for glory, but for survival itself. The sky stretched without end, veiled in storm clouds that coiled above the jagged crowns of the mountains. Across the heavens the dragons soared, their scales burning with a light that rivaled the sun. Upon the loftiest peak lay Drakara, the golden worm, vast beyond measure, coiled like an ancient god about the crags of stone. In that age, the dragons ruled the firmament, born of fire and tempest, bound to no master and owing allegiance to none. Then Tiamat ascended, her vast serpentine form winding through the storm winds. Lightning crowned her coming, and she descended in thunder before the majesty of Drakara.
Drakara, the divine race fears your power. They will chain you, break you, but with me, you will reign supreme.
We bow to no queen, demon or divine. We fly for no cause but our own.
Try to defy me? The gods will destroy you, but I can make you eternal. Choose wisely.
We are already eternal. If we fall free.
Tiamat snarled, and her vast wings unfurled like the banners of doom. Thunder shattered the heavens as she lunged forth, and thus the battle was joined. Fire clashed with darkness, and the very sky was set ablaze. Drakara and Tiamat collided with a force that shook the world, until mountains themselves crumbled beneath their wrath. None could rival the fury of Tiamat, for she descended not as a queen upon her throne, but as the storm incarnate, wrath-given flesh.
You will serve me or burn!
Drakara, stricken and cast down upon the earth, let forth a final snarl, though the fire within his eyes dimmed like a dying star.
We will serve, but we are not yours.
That is enough!
The trees had stirred with whispers, and the earth had throbbed beneath a shroud of darkened mist. From the shadowed vale, Gorgon, a titan of monstrous frame, had emerged, bearing the weight of nightmare upon his form. In those untamed realms, chaos had held dominion, and creatures born of dread had ruled unbound by master or law. Through the forest's gloom, Tiamat had glided, and the shadows had parted before her like subjects before a queen of old.
Gorgon, the gods would cage you! I would unleash you!
We are chaos. We serve no war but our own.
You will be destroyed, then by them or by me. But serve me, and chaos will reign.
Then let chaos decide.
Darkness had erupted in a storm of ruin as Tiamat struck. Gorgon had fought with the savagery of the old world, yet his strength waned, and his fall had begun. The trees had splintered, the earth had broken, and in her fury, there had been no mercy. The defiance of monsters was swallowed whole beneath the tempest of her wrath.
You think chaos protects you? I am chaos!
Tiamat had coiled her vast form around Gorgon, binding him in a prison of living storm, her grip unyielding as mountains chained in shadow.
We will join, but not as slaves.
Then crawl with your pride, so long as you fight.
Tiamat had ascended the throne of obsidian and bone. Her vanquished lords laid low beneath her gaze, Drakara broken and bleeding, and Gorgon dark and grim. Around her the legions had gathered, dragons with burning maws, monsters wrought of nightmare, giants whose steps shattered earth. Her enemies had bowed, not in reverence, but beneath the weight of her dominion. Thus the storm was loosed, and soon the gods themselves would tremble before its fury.
The divine race has ruled for too long. Now we rise, not as pawns, but as the end of their age.
In the forsaken corners of the earth, where life and death walked as twins, the witches had dwelt, masters of the arcane, guardians of the primeval law. Then Tiamat had come, vast and serpentine, seeking their allegiance. She had descended into the shadowed valley, her endless coils gleaming with a sheen like blackened oil beneath fading firelight. And before her had stood Morgana, silent, sovereign, her form cloaked in grace, her gaze two unfathomable pools of shadow.
Morgana, you and your kind possess knowledge, the divine fear. They will cage you, bind you, but I offer a different path. Stand with me and reclaim what was stolen.
Power tempts Tiamat, but we do not hunger for domination. We walk the threads between worlds. We see what others ignore. What you propose could tear the cosmos apart.
You would let them strip you of your magic? Your dignity?
We seek no war, nor peace. Only balance. We will not fight, nor will we stand in your way. We will watch and remember.
Tiamat had coiled upon herself, her vast form trembling as she barely contained the storm of her fury.
Then, when the heavens fall, remember this moment. Remember your silence.
We always do.
Tiamat had turned, her scales glinting like forged steel, before she vanished into the shrouding mist. A vast chamber of obsidian had stretched before them, its darkness broken only by the flicker of red flames. The walls had been lined with bones, the silent testament of ages past, while the floor had rippled like living shadow beneath their feet. At the heart of this dread hall, Tiamat had loomed above a stone table. Before her had stood Ishtar, radiant and warlike, and Enlil storm-eyed and grim, and they had listened.
The dragons and monsters now serve us. Reluctantly, but they serve. The divine realm will fall. They fight from fear. We must keep their chains tight.
There is no room for hesitation. We strike fast or not at all. Marduk will not give us a second chance.
Then we march to the heart of heaven. And when we breach it, we remake the cosmos. No mercy, no survivors.
Let them see what true power feels like.
It is done. Let the heavens tremble.
The shadows had twisted, and the fortress had breathed with a will of its own. A chorus of whispers had risen to fill the dark, carrying dread upon every echo. The armies had gathered, giants, dragons, and nameless monsters, all bound beneath Tiamat's inexorable will. From afar, the witches had watched in silence, their eyes veiled in omen. And across the stars, the divine had steeled themselves for war. Marduk had stood upon the high balcony, while the heavens above him darkened and split with the distant thunder. His gaze had pierced the void, unblinking before its abyss, and within his palace of light he had felt the storm, not of wind nor of rain, but the storm of fate itself, gathering to crown or to unmake him.
So it begins, the war that may unmake all things.